Some not-so-sweet news about sugar. Data shows Americans are eating too much of it.
I think they're alarmed to see how many grams of sugar are actually in products.
Sugar is hard to avoid, sneaking into some of our favorite treats and go-to snacks, like nutrition bars and yogurt.
Some are just as bad as ice cream, really.
Too much sweet stuff can lead to serious consequences.
We're not utilizing all the sugar that we eat. That's where it leads to weight gain and obesity.
A registered dietitian, Michelle Ray spends most of her day talking about food, teaching others the importance of loading up on the good stuff, lean proteins and veggies, and limiting things like fat, sodium, and sugar.
They just never think about it, and they don't know how the amount of sugar they intake impacts their health.
And she said, how about sodas? How many sodas do you drink? And I said, oh, maybe 1 or 2. And on the way home in the car, my husband said, you lied, you drink 8. And he was right, I probably drink 8 sodas a day.
Yep, you heard that right. 8 sodas a day used to be the norm for Terry Coobs. That changed when she learned 1 can of regular soda contains more sugar than she should eat in an entire day.
So that was a real, smack in your face, Terry. This is reality.
New federal dietary guidelines state no more than 10% of your daily calories should come from added sugars. Here's an easy way to calculate your added sugar budget. First, determine your total daily calories, then divide that number by 10. For a person on a 2,000 calorie diet, that's about 200 calories a day from added sugars. Divide that number by 4 to translate calories to grams.
In a 2,000 calorie intake, you can have 50 grams of sugar a day.
Divide by 4 again to convert grams to teaspoons. 50 grams of sugar equals about 12 teaspoons. Most people have an added sugar budget between 6 and 15 teaspoons a day, but data shows Americans eat about 20 teaspoons of sugar a day.
I don't want people to fear sugar. You've just got to eat it in moderation.
Natural sugars, the kind that already exist in your food, don't count toward your daily added sugar budget. Natural sugars come from fruit, veggies, milk, and plain yogurt. Here's the catch. Labels only show total sugar, added and natural. That's why it's important to read labels and recognize which key words are code for added sugars, like corn syrup, evaporated cane juice, and molasses. Yogurt, cereals, and canned goods often contain added sugars.
Everyone needs to read labels so that you know how many grams of sugar you're eating every day.
Coobs started changing her diet, swapping out sodas for water and finding ways to eat more vegetables.
I've learned to hide kale in salads and things like that.
She also makes it a priority to hit the gym a few times each week.
I sleep much better. I have a lot more energy.
I want that red velvet. I want that sugar sweet.
From the gym to the great outdoors, this is Tony Martin's happy place.
I have lots of energy, so when I get off from work, I go walking.
He used to be overweight, suffering from knee pain, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol.
We're trying to push his cholesterol medications even higher and higher, and yet it was not improving. So we finally kind of said, listen, you have to invest in this yourself. You have to make some changes with the way you eat and the way you exercise.
From then on, I said I got to do something. So I started watching what I eat, started exercising.
One of Dr. Elena Ebay's recommendations, cut back on sugar. Eventually, Martin lost 25 pounds by changing his diet and exercising. He's kept it off for 3 years.
When I actually see him make a change, that to me is like success.
I really can tell when I get up in the mornings, my body's just feel good.
Ray offers 3 quick tips to help break sugar cravings. 1, fill up on water instead of sports drinks. 2, try a bite-sized piece of dark chocolate if you're craving something sweet. 3, have a piece of fruit with a glass of water when you'd normally reach for dessert.
We should stick to desserts no more than twice a week if we're at our kind of healthy ideal weight. If we're not, we might not be able to afford it as often.
I want my grandkids to know their grandma, so that's become important. That's why you get up and come here. That's why you check labels. That's why you do what you do.
Remember, when it comes to your diet, it all starts with you. And big changes can mean big rewards. For Coobs, it's the hope that a healthier her means more time with the grandkids. For Carolina Impact, I'm Danielle Koser reporting.